Bueno Park is in the building. Bueno Park? What's the deal? Nothing but the homies out there. Nothing but the homies. What's up with the homies?
Who poppin', we poppin', we major.
The first interview that I'm conducting, and it's with somebody I've known you since I was probably like a sophomore in high school, and got to see you, go from being a all-star in high school to a All-American in college and now to an NFL starter. So it's something really cool for me to see, and I really appreciate you being able to help me out, helping out the not-so-little guys.
Right, man. I appreciate you having me on, Doggy.
So let's start it out, going back to the high school days. Not many people, that are following you today know that you wrestled in high school. So can you go into a little bit of detail into that?
Yeah, so my dad put me in wrestling, I think when I was 8 or 9, and he put me into the SoCal, Team SoCal. We used to practice over there at Los Alamitos High School. And so, actually, I first got my first start with the Terminators, but I was only there for like a year. Anyways, yeah, so I've been wrestling since I was like 8. Was real timid and real bad at it, I would say. I was run of the mill, pretty average at wrestling growing up. I didn't have a decent record until my senior year, and then I got second in state and second in CIF, and I got first in Masters. So I think just wrestling in general, and just like the people I've met and the coaches I've had in wrestling, just help build like a solid base in me, a mental toughness and stuff. So
Yeah, no, definitely. That's I wrestled for 1 year, my senior year. Didn't really finish the year due to some recruiting issues and me have to travel to different schools and stuff like that for football. But one thing I did learn was, man, if you're a wrestler, I'm one of my best friends in high school, Jesse Gomez. Shout out to Jesse Gomez.
Shout out Jesse Gomez.
Yeah, they are some crazy dudes in the wrestling room. You guys are, from cutting weight to, constantly just going at each other. I thought football was tough, but wrestling's a whole other ball game. And it's, the one thing I liked about it was football was always a team sport. And yes, wrestling, it came down to a team meet or whatever the correct term for it was called. But it's a one-on-one sport, and it's you versus the other guy. And what is that feeling like versus we both play O-line, and we kind of really have to depend on if we're playing center, we got to help our guards out and vice versa. But what's the one-on-one feeling like?
I feel like that one-on-one feeling is just like, it's like a pass rush for 6 minutes, just like that one-on-one pass rush. You just know that you got no help. So it's kind of scary, but also like in that unknown is where I feel like you could like rise up, because in wrestling it's tough. It's not just it's not like football where you got your helmet on and you got your pads on and stuff, and like it's just a different feeling. Like when you're wearing the wrestling, even like the wrestling uniform is like you're damn near naked out there wrestling another half-naked person. Like it's pretty
barbaric.
I don't know, it's just it's barbaric. It's a little uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a different environment. It's a different feel.
Definitely.
But,
I get exactly what you're.
I just feel like with wrestling, it's you don't have anyone to rely on, like you said. There's no one to your left or right that's gonna help bail you out. So, I don't know. It's super fun, especially when you find your rhythm in it. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely. 100%. Next question.
It's just fun.
Next question I got for you. So, following the draft, I'm a sports crazy. I follow everything about every sport, and one of the things I see about football that's very unique, is the amount of players that are playing more than one sport, and whether it's growing up in junior American or Pop Warner, or in high school they're playing different sports. What's the benefit of playing more than one sport? I know a little bit of your training that you do is more than just the traditional weightlifting. Can you go into a little bit about that?
Yeah, I feel like my off season, when I'm healthy, obviously, it's more than just weightlifting and on the field, working on my past stats or whatever. I fell in love with wrestling, and I feel like my senior year in wrestling, it was like, I don't know, kind of like the beginning to like my combat sports journey. So I feel like, that kind of got me into doing like jiu-jitsu, wanting me to learn how to, throw hands, and learning and getting into kickboxing and stuff.
No, definitely.
I feel like that love for, just that grappling and whatever, just kind of, it's just easy to find, a jiu-jitsu gym and find that community, like, there. So I feel like I'm blessed with being able to, know that life. You know what I'm saying? Like, not everyone feels that comfortable, like, going to a jiu-jitsu gym and trying to choke out other grown men that you don't really know. You know what I'm saying? So it's just, so for me, being able to do that and doing kickboxing and stuff and making friends, and I just feel like, I don't know, I always liked lifting weights, and I liked, doing on the field stuff, but I feel like doing the jiu-jitsu and the kickboxing and kind of breaks up the monotony of off-season workouts.
Yeah, no, I mean, I would say one thing that just seeing what people describe you as is they describe you as, a dog. They describe you as somebody that gets down and dirty, and that's from everything I know about jiu-jitsu and MMA is you got to get dirty, and you got to get, it's very fluent, or it makes somebody who thinks they're tough, really know what, toughness is.
Right. Yeah, there's no acting tough. You either know what to do with your body, or you're going to get your wrists hurt and your elbows, snapped in half. So you get act tough until you get double arm barred, and then you're like, oh, shoot, both my elbows are sore now for months.
All right, so we talked about the traditional wrestling. You a fan of the WWE? Any interest in that?
I haven't followed since, like, I feel, back in the day, like.
All right, give me the top three wrestlers, your favorite three wrestlers.
I would say top three all time. Damn, I'm gonna go top five.
Top five.
Just because three, I feel like is not enough. There's a lot of good wrestlers.
I feel you.
All right, so no particular order. I'm gonna go Undertaker. I'm gonna go Rey Mysterio, Eddie Guerrero, Chris Benoit, and then I'm gonna probably go. Shit, Ric Flair. Woo!
You gotta go Ric Flair on the. Man, that's one thing.
This is the OG.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Titties out, just flapping in the wind, slapping dudes in the chest.
The blonde hair.
OG.
Yeah. The one thing that I love about wrestling, or the entertainment wrestling, is you see so many connections in different sports, different aspects of whether it's art, music. There's Migos had that, or the Ric Flair drip song, and it's definitely it's something that's more than everybody grew up with it, and now it's really really mainstream.
Right. Yeah.
Any teammates of yours, whether in college or NFL, that are or big wrestling fans?
Yeah, I know, like, all the dudes, like, everybody loves, Macho Man and, Hulkamania, the voices and stuff. I know some dudes were real into it, but I can't think of who it is right now.
After football, would you ever pursue a career in the WWE?
I feel like if I could do it like The Rock does it and just do, like, one or two, like, shows, like, every once in a while,
Oh yeah.
that would be super tight. But I feel like traveling and being a road dog and being on the road every week, I don't know, man. Every week, 365.
Come on. If you guys don't know who Alex Redmond is, he is one of the most entertaining characters in, I would say, all of football. I mean, I remember in his college days at UCLA, he would paint his whole face black with the eye black, or he would do different designs, and just a comedic relief in a very serious sport that you see this guy, complete monster, and then he's doing a Ric Flair woo with his whole face painted. But yeah, I mean, tell me about that. What makes your character, like, I mean, it's everybody, it's not like a movie character, it's your real life. What makes you you? Like, that's one thing I always found fascinating about you is, you remain yourself. You don't really let people, mold you or, try to make you fit something where you're really not. And that's really been an inspiration. So can you tell me about that?
Yeah, I just feel like in life, you could be so many types of ways, or you could try to be perceived, any kind of way. But I feel like at the end of the day, like, that's not my job to try to formulate, your opinion of me. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
That's not my job to, I don't know, to try to portray what our, coolness or whatever it is. I feel like, I just do me. I don't worry about, what people have to say too much. Obviously, I'm not going to go out there and be saying everything I think, because people be thinking I'm crazy. But, what I'm saying, at the same time, I feel like I let people, let them know where I stand, or, how I feel or what I believe. So I feel like it's easy to get caught up in this world and wants to tell you, what's cool and, like, what's kosher to do, whatever. Like, I mean, I still like the same shit. I still like playing paintball and airsoft and eating pizza and carne asada. And, you know what I'm saying? Like, people try to act like their Instagram or whatever, like, that's like their life. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
this big blown out, the filters, and it looks like a movie. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's all cool and stuff. At the end of the day, like, that's not how I live life. I got 2 kids. I actually have 3 kids. I got a beautiful wife. I mostly just be staying at home, taking care of the babies, cleaning up. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I'm not too worried about what people got to say, especially if they're not someone that's helped pay my bills. So it's like, unless you help paying the bills, I'll take your criticism. But if you ain't paying the bills, dog, it's like,
Oh yeah.
It's like free advice. You get what you pay for.
Exactly. So talk about people who pay the bills. So you got a game this Sunday. And you guys are Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm a big Steeler fan, but definitely I'll be rooting for you every time you're on the field. But today's Wednesday. What goes on throughout a NFL week, in preparation for the game on Sunday or, whenever the game is?
Right. So today is like our first real work day of the week. We come back Monday after the game and kind of regroup, lift, go over, make corrections, and then on Tuesday we have our day off, and then I just do treatment and just hang out with the family, run little errands and stuff I gotta do. But and then on Wednesday it's our first day back. We got meetings. So I got rehab and modalities and stuff at 7. So I'll get in there at 7, and then I'll do that until 8. Then we got meetings at 8, and then from 8 to 9 we got meetings, and then we got a little break, and then we'll go back to meetings for like another hour and a half, and then we'll walk through, and then we'll have a little break, and then we'll have more meetings, and then we'll have practice, and then we'll have another break, and then we'll have practice. Or not practice again, but then we'll be done. But pretty much just today is just like kind of installing the run games and stuff that we're implementing. So we were just implementing our base run today. And that's pretty much it.
Yeah, I mean, that just sounds like a whole bunch of work for, I know the concept of it. All that work for one game, and you only have, NFL, you guys got 16 games, 4 preseason, but, you're basically working year round for those 16 games, and it's, not like the NBA or MLB where you got, multiple games. So every week is special, and every week is big. One thing I would want to know is, and for all the big guys out there, what's the menu looking like? What's going on? Breakfast, lunch, and dinner for you, not just during the week, but during the season. Like, what keeps you fueled up and what keeps you going?
Yeah, so in the morning, like, it just depends on the day. So if we have an earlier practice or whatever, like if we practice around 1 or around then, I'll probably, in the morning, I'll just eat like some oatmeal. So I'll do my oatmeal, and I'll do my coffee, and so I'll do, like a bowl of oatmeal. Like I'll do a half scoop, or I'll do 2 tablespoons brown sugar, and then I'll just, hit that. If I'm still feeling hungry, I might do a little bacon. And then for lunch, it's mostly just like rice and chicken, rice and steak, broccoli and, steak, chicken. It's pretty much just steak and chicken every day for lunch. And then to supplement my greens, I'll do like a green shake. So like if I'm not intaking as many greens as I think I need, then I'll just do like a green shake. So I'll just do some spinach with a little bit of apple juice, and I'll just throw in some other fruits or whatever in there. So I'll do that maybe like once or twice a day. And then for dinner, just whatever me and my wife make. So my favorite dinner is enchiladas. She makes the best enchiladas in the world.
Man, you are a true California kid.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Cali all the way. They have like this stuff called like Skyline chili and stuff like that. They put like a whole bag of shredded cheese on top of noodles with chili. It's just disgusting. No, it's
when you back out
weird out here, bro.
When you back in Cali, what's the one spot you gotta hit? You from a low south, so what's the one restaurant, whether it's a sit down or a one of those you stand and order, what's the one spot that Alex Redmond is hitting up?
So I'm for sure hitting up In-N-Out, but I'm not just hitting up one spot because I eat it so much. I have to go to like different stores so they don't know I'm like, wait, you were here earlier today. You know what I'm saying? So I'll be like, I have like a nice little radius of In-N-Outs that I'll go to, like, you know what I'm saying? So it works out perfectly. So for sure, In-N-Out, double doubles, grilled onions, you know what I'm saying, fries with the extra large lemon up. if any of my fans out there listening, I'll take them In-N-Out gift cards. You know what I'm saying? No cap. Shoot some to my boy Mark over here too. You know what I'm saying? But for sure, In-N-Out, yeah. So In-N-Out, yo.
Have you? I know the big debate is Whataburger. What do you want to? What's the or a steak shake? I know there's in the Midwest and what's
Yeah, the Texas boys say whatever burger is the best, but you ask them what they get, they say, "Oh, you gotta get the fried chicken biscuit sandwich." And you're like,
yeah.
What are you talking about?
Oh, I mean you talk about some chicken. Have you tried the Popeyes chicken sandwich yet?
I have not. I've heard mixed reviews. Some say amazing, amazeballs, and others have said, give it an eh.
That good old eh.
Yeah, have you had it?
Yeah, I did have it. It's very I don't want to say it's overhyped because it's very good. It's
It's very good.
It's really good. It's just really good.
Ooh.
But it's really hard because Chick-fil-A. I mean, Chick-fil-A is a classic. You can't go wrong with a good old just Chick-fil-A sandwich with some, Chick-fil-A sauce. That's the best sauce hands down. What about since we're on
The
food?
Chick-fil-A sauce is something.
It's something that is some greatness.
I don't know what they put there. I don't know what they be putting in there, but
It's
got a
like
little bit of it, man.
it's kind of like a fry sauce or just a mixture.
It's fancy ketchup. It's aioli. There we go.
Yeah, there we go. Since we're on food, we're big linemen and everybody loves food. I know receivers and basketball players. Everybody loves food.
Everybody loves food.
All right, we're just gonna run through. I'm gonna say a food, and you're gonna give me a restaurant. All right. So I'm gonna give you,
Okay.
for instance, for me, you ask me pizza. I'm gonna go with Papa John's. Right. So I'm gonna go through that, and we're gonna see what we got. Hopefully, we get through a couple of them.
Okay.
All right. So we're gonna start with just a good old regular cheeseburger.
In-N-Out. Let's go.
Pizza.
I'm gonna go Marco's.
Okay. We'll go a good taco.
Good taco, burrito track in Whittier, or track burrito. It's one of those two. It's over there in Whittier by my boy Don G's house. Shout out Don G. Don G, what are they?
All right. I'm gonna throw a little curveball. Hawaiian barbecue.
Hawaiian barbecue. Well, I'm gonna go Polynesian barbecue and go Matiki's.
Hey.
Yes, sir. Over there in Anaheim by Knott's. Yes, sir.
Shout out Dr. Choi putting us on.
Shout out Troy putting us on.
Favorite candy bar?
Oh, favorite candy bar. Ooh, I'm a big Snickers guy.
Okay.
Snickers over everything.
Ice cream.
Ooh, mint and chocolate chip.
Mint chocolate chip. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna
Yeah.
switch it up a little bit. When you go to the movies, do you buy popcorn? You get the whole deal, or is it just you go in there and what's the Alex eating at the movies?
Yeah, I'm what you call movie theater rich. So I'll get the biggest drink. Yeah, feel me?
With
I'll
the
get
refill?
The biggest. What? The biggest popcorn. You feel me? And then shit, I might even get a candy or two.
I feel it.
So I don't care if they tax it. I'm just in there enjoying my time. You know what I'm saying?
I feel it. What's the last movie you've seen, or what's the movie you're waiting to see?
Well, what is the last movie? What's the last movie I've seen? Oh yeah, I saw Joker in theaters, and I was kind of mixed on it. You know what I'm saying? I was kind of expecting a little bit more action, but
It was a very dark movie. It was I wasn't expecting it to be that dark. That was something I thought Logan was a dark movie, but this took a left turn.
that the newest Wolverine?
Yeah.
I think I've seen that one. I don't remember though. Damn you, CTE! Damn you!
So you a Marvel or DC guy?
I like Batman, so I'm gonna go DC.
Good old Batman. So what do you think about the new Batman that's supposed to be coming out? I don't know if you've seen anything about that.
No, I haven't seen anything about it.
It's the guy from Twilight, Robert Patterson.
I would know.
I'm trying to think of his name. He was you remember back in the day it was Team Edward or Team Jacob. Remember everybody was going crazy.
Yeah, I know this. I know the shirts.
So
I know the shirts.
it's not Shark Boy, the other one. He's gonna be actually the new Batman.
Not zombies. Vampires.
Are you a vampire fan?
Whole blood sucking thing. Not a big fan. No. I like werewolves. I think better. Werewolves I think are cooler than
Vampires. That's what's up.
I mean, the vampire folklore I think is cooler because like Vladimir the Impaler and how he had like all the people on the stakes for like miles and miles and miles. That's pretty hard, but yeah, probably werewolves.
Yeah, no, you can't go wrong with either a really good vampire story or a werewolf story. So let's dig back into some a little bit more serious things. What's the next move for Alex Redmond? Whether it's 5 years down the line, 10 years down the line, post football. What's the thought process of going into that decision?
I don't know. I haven't really gone that far yet. I kind of live in the moment. I don't know. I'm trying to see where like the best place to play paintball in America is, and I'll probably move there.
Just go play paintball.
Yeah, just play paintball and shoot people's faces.
I mean, and eat in and out, right? That's the plan.
See, it might not be in. I mean, I've been to Ohio's got some good players. Ohio. Well, Ohio actually does have two decent places near me, but Colorado's got some good places. Obviously, California has amazing places, but I don't know. California's expensive.
Yeah, no, that is very, it's something that a lot of younger people are coming to realize now. It's a whole new, different from our parents and grandparents. It's very expensive to live in California.
It is very expensive.
So what's the weather like in Ohio right now? Or not Ohio? Yeah, Ohio, right? Cincinnati.
Yeah, we had one of our nicest days of the week. I believe it got up to 47.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was really nice out today. It has been like in the 20s, so yeah, it's definitely feeling a lot nicer. It snowed a little bit the other day, but not too much.
And growing up in California, were you ever around snow? Did you and the family ever visit? Anything like that?
I think I've seen snow in Big Bear. That's about it.
So getting picked up by Cincinnati was kind of a shock, right?
Yeah, Cincinnati it doesn't snow and get real too bad until like after January.
Uh-huh.
And I had just experienced that this year. Yeah, just this year. So, I mean, it got pretty poopy outside, but I still play paintball, obviously.
Do they have a lot more like indoor activities, I would say? Everywhere.
No. They just don't do anything over here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, pretty relaxed.
All right. Since we're on the What We Want podcast, I'm going to ask you 3 questions, right? It's 3 questions that start with the letter W. First question is what do you want people to know about you?
What I want people to know about me is that, you know what? I had many times where I could have gave up, but I said, you know what? I'm going to use this as fuel to really stick it to the people that screwed me over. And you know what those basic white girls say on Instagram all the time is, success is the best revenge. So suck it, all those people that talked bad about me before the draft and didn't get me drafted, or that might have been my own fault. Either way, I choose to believe that it was my coaches. Screw you.
Next question, the letter W. Who are some of your role models, or who is your biggest role model?
Biggest role model? Probably has to be my dad. He is sometimes a little off kilter, a little spastic, and a little quick to jump to conclusions. But my dad is honestly just a very humble and hardworking guy, and he does everything with a purpose. And I feel like he knows what he wants, and he knows what it's going to take to get there. And so I feel like he's a big role model for me. I know I never really looked up to other athletes. At least, not in the sense of I emulate some of what the good ones do, obviously, but but just not in that kind of sense. So I just feel like, my dad and my mom too, just kind of showing me, it's okay to have compassion, and you don't have to, it goes about, just being myself, just. You don't have to be any kind of way, You could just do what you feel is right and just kind of live by that.
Yeah, no, that's awesome to hear, and I can really contest to that your family is really hardworking, and it's from what we know, from what I know about your family and the time I spent with you guys, it's you guys are awesome and all that. Last question. It's going to be, where do you see yourself in 10 years?
Where do I see myself in 10 years? Lord willing, still playing some football. I don't know. Hopefully still playing some football. Whether that be in Cincinnati, that would be awesome, because I love Cincinnati. But, it doesn't, I know my kid, he's going to be 12 in 10 years, so probably teaching him the arts of shooting faces and paintball. He'll probably be freaking doing football and wrestling and, I don't know, basketball, whatever he wants to do by then anyway, so I'll probably be busy chasing him and my little baby girl around. Hopefully by then I'll have a serious relationship with my oldest daughter, Lincoln, and that California will not continue to use my daughter as leverage for funds, and that would be great, because I feel like she needs a dad, and I've always been here to be that for her, but just her mom doesn't allow that to happen. So shout out you, person who doesn't let me see my daughter. You're a true scumbag. If you ever hear this, Lincoln, I've been fighting to see you since you were born. So there's that. Honestly, I forgot the question, but
Hey, no, this is you're on the What We Want podcast, and this is absolutely unfiltered. There's no, there'll be a little bit of editing, but
you know what? I want to see my goddamn daughter. That's what I want.
Hey, this is
Stupid baby mama get in the way. You know what I'm saying? That's what I want.
hey, no, this is the
I don't
perfect.
want her
This is the
to
platform.
freaking bogart my daughter and say, oh, you don't got the right car seat, and I'm not gonna let you see my daughter. And then I have to go call the police because you won't relinquish my daughter to me, even though I got the right, all the stuff. And I went in there, her stupid dog bit me. Wasn't even her dog, it was someone else's dog, man. This is terrible, Mark. I just want to see my daughter and I freaking get bit by a pit bull, you know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah,
not cool.
man.
I can't take this shit anymore.
Hey, we want to see. Yeah, you said your oldest daughter is Lincoln, right?
Yeah.
We want to see Lincoln and Alex reunited, and we want that whole situation over here to get situated because, from everything hearing about what you're saying and knowing who you are, from your other two kids, I know you're a great father, and I know your daughter Lincoln would really appreciate it, and anything we can do, start a hashtag, start a movement, let's reunite Lincoln and Alex, everybody. So let's get on there, let's get this moving.
Hashtag free Lincoln.
Hashtag free Lincoln. That's what we're gonna end with today on the What We Want podcast. Once again, I want to thank a good friend of mine, Alex Redmond, from right here in good old Orange County, California, starting. What are you starting? I would say starting offensive lineman. He's Mr. Do-It-All for the Cincinnati Bengals. I'm going to leave it with you. Last words. Let everybody know what you got going on. Let everybody know, anything that you want to promote. This is, total you right here. If any companies, anything, sponsors, whatever, this is for you to, give your shout outs or whatever you got.
All right. Shout out freaking Mark Vargas. Putting on, you know what I'm saying? Doing it big. Going and chasing that dream. Baby. Shout out Miss Mary Jane CBD for freaking getting me back into the game faster than expected. Love my freaking supporters over there. Miss Mary Jane CBD. Go get you some of the world's best CBD and CBD products, baby. That's all I got.
All right, well, Alex, once again, I appreciate it. I hope this week is a healthy week, and I hope you rank up at a 98, 99 on that ranking scale. But you know what it is on this side. It's Big Steeler gang. But hey, it's all love. Ball out on offense. Just hopefully we put up 100 points and you guys can put up 99.
Hashtag fucking Steelers. Get over here first, folks.
All right, big dog. Nice talking to you, and God bless.
God bless, buddy. See you.
Bueno Park is in the building. Bueno Park? What's the deal? Nothing but the homies out there. Nothing but the homies. What's up with the homies?